Hello, this is Witch Nikki. Now, I have had a little bit, what some people would call a little bit, but I would call a few years of medical assisting and medical training in my life. And I wanted to talk about something that is a very serious topic with a lot of people. So, if you do want to watch this, I suggest you watching it when you do not have children around you. You may not want them to hear the topic that I'm going to talk about today. Also, if you belong to a certain religion where things of this nature are against your spiritual guidelines, if you will, you might not want to hear this either. But if you do, it's perfectly fine. I'm not going to be using bad language. I'm going to be using medical terms. I'm going to be reading off of mostly from, from right here, I'm going to be reading off of medicalnewstoday.com. I will try to remember somehow to move the link over here to this. It might take me a while, so please forgive me if I don't put it right away, but it's www.medicalnewstoday.com. There's no spaces in between any of that. And it was written June 9th, 2020, so it's recent. Okay. This is a very difficult topic, and I'm going to be speaking as gently and candidly and openly as possible. If you have any questions about this, you can either question me, we'll find the answers together if you'd like, or the best thing you should do is talk to a doctor. Always talk to a doctor. Okay? So, now that you've gone like 2 minutes and almost 3 minutes into this, what is the topic going to be about? Because I may or may not, I'll probably put it into the title or description. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm very openly telling you that today's topic that I'm speaking about is something that I have known about and done research about for many years. I've experienced this procedure on both sides of the coin. Okay, this procedure is a medical procedure, and it is called abortion. Okay, so yeah, if you do not want to listen to any more, click off. You don't need to give me a thumbs up because I'm going to be explaining about that too. I mean down. You don't have to give me any thumbs if you don't want to. I'm fine without any. I don't care if you don't subscribe. I don't care if you go to block me. But it is going to be spoken about here today. Okay? Now, the first thing that I don't even know where to begin with this, but what prompted me today to talk about this is that it's been Black History Month for 18 days, and on Instagram I have been seeing good posts and some negative ones. And one negative one Okay. I had to pause for a moment. I had a little disruption going on in the backyard. First of all, this is just like I said in this prompt got prompted by a post, and I don't even know anymore who they were. I blocked them. I did make comments on their post, and their post was saying that abortion for the black community was a racist thing, basically, because millions of African American black women were getting abortions. Now, we need to really fact check when we see something like the billions or millions or even thousands of anybody getting anything done nowadays. So first of all, don't fall prey to false information. Second of all, the reason why some of you might not like this topic is because I'm going to be speaking as straight down the road as possible, leaning more to pro-choice. Okay? I understand both sides, but when you get down to it, it is not your choice unless it's in your body, basically. We need, America, the world, needs to keep other people's opinions out of our lives, out of our bedrooms, and out of our preferences of who we want to be with. What we want to do with our body is our business. Not everybody believes in the religions that suppress you from getting this procedure done. Okay? So quite frankly, if you're in a religion that doesn't permit abortions, okay, it's off the charts, then you need to stay in your life, in your circle of friends, and for both sides, the male needs to put on a condom. The woman needs to have some kind of protection. And if that's against your religion, then you need to not have sex, period. That is your way to prevent 100% getting an abortion, is by not having sex, period. If you do not have sex, you're not going to accidentally get pregnant. Okay? Is that clear? That's pretty clear to me. If you don't want to take birth control, not even a condom, no pills, no shots, no band-aids or whatever else, no surgeries, nothing, then don't have sex. Because if you have sex, when you have sex, you will most likely get pregnant. And if you're not ready to, don't call it a mistake or an accident or it was unexpected. Okay? Because it most definitely was. I'm trying not to say things that are too explicit, but you put a male person with a female person and they have intercourse and produce all the things that go on inside, you will have a very big chance of getting pregnant. So don't call it a surprise. Don't say that it was unplanned. I hear all these really brilliant, and I'm being sarcastic, excuses for the bun in the oven to suddenly be there. How did we know that was going to happen? Okay. Well, so you did not plan a pregnancy, and one happens. You're pregnant. Maybe you're not ready to settle down and have a family. That's your choice. Nobody else can make that choice for you. You don't need to have the man's, talk to him about it if you want to. But basically, once you've gotten pregnant, it's in your body. You're going to be carrying it. You're going to be going through all the emotional changes, the physical changes. And basically, he's not. So that first decision is and should be based on what is your relationship with him? Is it somebody you just met? It's okay. We all been through stuff like that. And if you haven't, okay, good for you. Keep it up or down or whatever. Keep it closed. Yeah, so how well do you know this person? Not very well. Barely know each other. One night fling. Don't bother telling him. Don't bother talking about it. As soon as you realize that you've made that connection was a mistake, and soon as you remember and you wake up and maybe the both of you were loopy, drunk, high, whatever, and got together, and the next day you're like, oops, I made a big mistake. Well, yeah, you did. But don't dwell on it, and don't keep thinking about it. Don't go, I better go and get this checked. I'm going to say something here now because you need to know what your time window is if you're going to make a decision for this. Fetal development. This is what I'm reading from. Oh, where did it go? Okay. I don't want to get onto a different page and redo something else. So this is from that one, www.medicalnewstoday.com. And you can get this information anywhere. You can even ask a doctor, okay? Imagine that. You can talk to a human being about this. You can go to a library and look in a book. Yes, you can, okay? But I'm going to read this. The heart of an embryo starts to beat from around 5 to 6 weeks of pregnancy. Also, it may be possible to see the first sign of the embryo, known as the fetal pole, at this stage. The developing heart is made of 2 tubes that have fused in the middle, creating a trunk for the 4 tubes branching off. Okay. Then it goes into more information. So, let's see. It's a very primitive circulatory system. Okay, so it's still brand new. I've gone to the Mayo Clinic now. So fetal development begins soon after conception. Find out how your baby grows and develops during the first trimester. Okay, so in the very first few weeks, it's still going through a developmental stage. And you might classify as pregnant, but is what we're really seeing a human life? It's an organism, basically. I think even in one of the things that I was reading, they referred to it as germ. Okay? This germ, that germ. Okay? So I'm not going to go into all the birds and the bees business. You want to find that out way before you get even thinking about having an abortion. Way before. Because those facts are going to prevent you from getting down the road where you're going to go, oops, I made a mistake. How did you make a mistake? The only way you can make a mistake like that and not know what's going to happen when this hits that, bang, bada boom, you're probably going to get pregnant. Okay? I was looking up pictures to show the different developments. Okay, so I might turn this around so you could see it a little bit. I don't really want to show too much, but here we go. Okay, fertilization, 1 week, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, and then 12-week fetus, and then on to birth, okay? Turn it back. So, you kind of saw that. So at the earlier stages that I showed you, let me put you over here so that from fertilization to 1 week up to even 3 weeks, okay? Did that look like something that if it were out here could live on its own? No, it can't. You can't take it out of 3 weeks old and put it in some kind of little dish or baggie or something and just say, here, live here, because I'm done now, and just keep it there. Okay? No, you can't. Now, it was saying on this other one, did it not? Let me go back. Sorry about the little delay here. 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, so why does it matter what's developed? Okay, what is the big deal? A heart is not a love center of your body. The heart has a function to move blood through your body and pump it through so you get oxygen, and you get oxygen, comes in, it goes out your lungs. I know that, but the blood gets oxygen. That's why your brain is important too. So when does the brain develop? And does a fetus know anything when it has a brain? Do you know? Do you really, really know? All the people out there who are into these religions that are saying, you shall not have an abortion. Okay? Well, I got some news for you folks, okay? There is a natural procedure that happens to many women. Okay, it's called miscarriage, also called, listen to this, spontaneous abortion. Spontaneous abortion.
See you.
Okay. So I don't have to shift around on so many pages back there. I want to ask Google. Okay. Hey Google, can you define the word spontaneous?
On the website dictionary.com, they say, spontaneity is the state or quality of being spontaneous, happening naturally and without being planned. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Okay. So it's something that just happens naturally without being planned. Okay? And this can happen at any time from stages the first trimester, second, or into the third, and even women have had stillborn babies. Deliver them stillborn. They've been deceased in the womb. Okay? Who does that? Okay? And it is called an abortion. The spontaneous loss of a woman's pregnancy before the 20th week that can be both physically and emotionally painful. Okay, so it says before the 20th week. The most common type of pregnancy loss, miscarriages, often occur because the fetus isn't developing normally. Symptoms include fluid, blood, or tissue passing from the vagina, and pain in the belly or lower back. It is common to feel sadness or grief. Unfortunately, the miscarriage process cannot be reversed once it has started. However, medications or procedures as a dilation and curettage can prevent certain type of complications. In addition, counseling and support are widely available. And this is who writes this stuff. Okay, it's very common. Okay, I'm going to find where exactly this is at in just a moment. It looks like something from WebMD. Yes, miscarriage is the loss of a baby. I don't know. I'm going to look it up though in just a second because it says very common. More than 3 million U.S. cases per year. Okay, so before all of you people out there who are against abortions start screaming and yelling at us, women who have made choices, you need to back off because sometimes nature has decided at 3 million U.S. cases per year have decided that a baby isn't growing right and has aborted. Your body has aborted it by itself. So don't ever come at me or anybody. Anybody. It's none of your business. If it's not your body, it's not your business. Period. You will not tell me when to have relationships. You will not tell me with who to have relationships. You will not tell me when to end a relationship. You will not tell me when to get a tattoo. You will not tell me if I should shave my hair. You should not tell me, you do not get to tell me anything about anything I do. If I want to change my breast, if I want to get a tummy tuck, if I want to get a facelift, you don't have the right to tell me that I can or cannot. It's your belief. Keep it to yourselves. Do not, I repeat, do not get involved with other people's business, with our lives. Okay? Don't, because you don't belong here. You don't belong in my heart. You don't belong in my vagina. You don't belong anywhere in my life. So you need to keep out of it. And even though I am not capable of having babies anymore, I'm not in any relationships, and it's none of your business. If I was with a man, a woman, or whatever, that's my business. You don't get to tell me what I can or cannot do with my body, period. No matter what, I make my decisions. It's my body. Okay? Yes. I get very upset with things like this when I hear it for other women. You know why? Because I've heard a lot of women who have had to go through what they call bathroom abortions, coat hanger abortions, drinking or eating or ingesting some kind of herbs. Okay? And by the way, that's something that has been going on for centuries. I was reading up on it too recently, and I should look it up here just to make sure, but you can fact check all you want. Please do. That it was said even back in the ancient times, women who found themselves pregnant would do whatever they could to abort it. And it was their private decision. They would go somewhere in total privacy. And some of the things that they might do were lifting and really extremely heavy things, and just forcing this to occur. Okay? So once again, it is just not your decision. It's the person who is involved in it. It's their decision. You don't get to tell anybody else in this world, whether she's your daughter, your sister, your best friend, your wife, your girlfriend. You don't get to tell her what she should do in the situation, pregnancy, that she gets herself into. You just don't. And I know that there's too many people out there who will say, no, it's none of my business, huh? Well, yes, it is, because it's in the Bible. No, You need to stop that right now. Stop. That's your Bible. That's not my Bible. It's not her Bible or hers over there. It's your Bible. You're studying it. You're believing it. You need to leave the rest of us alone. Completely alone. You need to back off. It's none of your business. Now, let's see, what else was I going to look at? So, let me see. Let me see if I could find out how soon that you could tell. Hold on, I'm going to look for it. Okay. Now, this is at AmericanPregnancy.org. Okay. Most doctors recommend that you wait until the first day of your missed period before taking a home pregnancy test. A missed period is usually one of the first signs of pregnancy. This is usually around 2 weeks after conception. However, some tests are more sensitive and others can be taken earlier. And this was dated April 24th, 2017, so it was fairly recent. But I'm sure things haven't changed that much, but maybe they can even tell it faster nowadays. I don't know. When I was pregnant the first time, I didn't really have to, I just knew. It was just something I knew, and I didn't know about missing a period. I was married, okay, and I didn't miss a period, but I just kind of knew. I don't know how or why. I think before I even missed the period, it was probably within 2 weeks, I started feeling nauseated and having what they call morning sickness. So that's what took me to my doctor to find out. So once again, don't depend on everything. Usually I go looking for at least 3 or 4 different places. You can ask your doctor. It's perfectly okay. That's what they're there for. That's what they've become educated to help you along the way. And none of them should tell you, oh, read this pamphlet on what happens to you when you have an abortion. Please. Yeah, they can be pretty uncomfortable and kind of scary. But I've had them for both reasons. 2 reasons. One, I found out that the man whose baby I was carrying, or fetus, had been cheating on me with somebody else who was far more pregnant than I was. The day after I found out this fact, I had a miscarriage. I fell while I was at work, and I had a miscarriage. That's all it takes. Okay. Also, around that time, I had found out that I had many uterine cysts. I didn't know it at the time, but that's what was preventing me from keeping the baby. Have I had an abortion? Yes. And did he know about it? Yes. He even offered to find me any means possible. He made it very clear that it shouldn't have happened. But once again, so I'm not judging. This is from my experience. my experience, sorry, that um, an idiot said, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's do something about it. Okay, so he did. He helped me. Okay. Um, the first method was from herbs, but um, the person who was supposed to get the herbs wasn't going to do it, wasn't going to get the herbs. So he had to help me to pay for me to get an abortion. Now, I'm not proud and I'm not ashamed, okay? Because this is something that nature does on its own if it so needs to. There's times where a pregnancy um, is not has not made it all the way and it's gone into your tubes and you need to have an abortion because you need to have it surgically removed because you could die if it stays in there in the tube, and the larger it gets the more likely it's going to stay there and it will kill you. You will die. Okay, I don't want you to be afraid, but the facts is facts. Go check them out. Now, don't be alarmed that if you get an ectopic pregnancy, is what they're called, and the doctor says you have an ectopic pregnancy. Don't faint away dead. He's going to help you, but you'll have to have it removed. Okay? There's no saving it like, oh, but I can't have an abortion. It's against my religion. Honey, having sex outside of your marriage was against your religion. If you're not supposed to be getting abortions, you're not supposed to be having sex outside of marriage. Okay? So, but if you're in marriage and this is happening, you still have the right to have surgical procedure to get it taken care of. Yes, it. Can you name a cell? Now, the egg was one, and then it joined, and then it started splitting up. That's what happens when it becomes, let's see here. Have this over again. The zygote. There's a human zygote, a blastocyst, and fertilization. So, yeah, the zygote is when it's split into the four. Okay, it splits one, it splits again. Okay, then it starts to form this embryo that everybody so that it is still a stage where you can get an abortion. Okay. The fetus, not so much. I don't think you'll get any doctor in America, or probably, I don't even know, anywhere that will give an abortion when the baby is so close to happening. They're not going to do that. And I don't condone it either. Okay. So day 1, 2 of these cells, and day 2 it's 2, and then 3 it's like 6 or 7 and 8. Day 4 it's more and more and more and more until it starts to be blastocyst forms. Okay. During that time, and it's like 5 days, okay, that it's still making its way from the ovary through the fallopian tubes into the uterus, and it still hasn't attached. It has to attach in the uterus. Okay, so it still hasn't. So it may or may not even show up on any test, but if it does, and it could, nowadays I wouldn't be surprised if you could almost have like the next day type of a thing. There is the day after pill that you could find out about from your doctor. And that's just in case. And actually, I don't want people running out, but there are herbs. Black cohosh is one. I happen to be taking it, but not for this purpose. It helps with hormonal inflections through like menopause and stuff like that too. But when I was looking for how far back do abortions go, and it said in the ancient times women would use black cohosh. Okay. Somehow they knew. They found out, or they knew. Like, I don't know how. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I might have been there in a different body. Our spirits go on and on and on. And that's what I want to say too, is another thing is, nobody knows, when does the spirit enter the fetus, the embryo or the fetus? When does it enter? Okay. Do you think that it enters when there's conception happening? Why would it? Is it something that needs to have a spirit? Okay. I think in my thoughts, when my thoughts come to me about it, that inside another person, it would be just too much of spirits, the mothers and the unborn child. It doesn't need a spirit at that moment. Through its development, it doesn't need a spirit. We need a spirit when we've become alive outside our mother's womb. Are we a living organism? Yes. We're living cells? Yes. But so is the coronavirus. The COVID virus is also cells. Oh, how dare me compare that cell with these cells. Oh, the thought of it. Well, get scientific, people. That's basically what it is. Okay, so I think I've pretty much covered that on most of it anyways. From what I know is that if we're looking at it with religion, there isn't any religions in the Bible, their Bible, that say that you shall not have an abortion. Okay? If you had a tumor, I know people are going to go, oh, don't compare a baby with a tumor. But if you had a tumor and you're just going to let it grow and get out of control with your body, harming it, okay? Yes, yeah, I mean, no, a baby is not the same thing, okay? Definitely not. But what my point is, you don't get to tell me what I should or shouldn't do with any tumors or anything that's in my body. Cyst or anything. Anything. Like I said, you don't get to tell me who to have a relationship with. And you don't get to tell me what to do with my body when I become, or if I would have, back in those days, become pregnant. Not going to happen anymore because of the cyst that I had, and they're keeping me from being pregnant. And I didn't know it at the time. Okay? I just thought I was really having problems, but I was having more of these spontaneous abortions, or also known as miscarriages, during the time that I had these uterine cysts, because there was no place for the baby to form or grow. So my body knew that and was getting rid of the fertilized egg out of my system. Because imagine, I had more than, at the time that they took my uterus, they found more than 7 uterine cysts inside, and one was the size of a grapefruit. So where would a baby be able to form in that mess? Nowhere. So yeah, my body was throwing them out. I didn't know. But there's always a reason for whatever. And if one of your problems with abortions are that you're getting rid of a spirit, don't worry. Once I die, my spirit's going to go on to another journey. Okay? Whatever you believe, if you have the belief that a 3-day-old zygote or these cells are going to have a spirit, okay, so be it. But the spirit, when it leaves, will go on. So what is this big major connection and what do you call it? This big thing, all of these people go to abortion clinics and protest out there with these signs. Now they don't even have to go out, and they're not being able to go out and collect like that. So now they got to go online to do it. They got to go online and attack people out there online with their propaganda. Okay? Y'all need to stop it. Just stop. Think a moment. Would you want any other buddy's religion forced upon you? You believe in what you believe. Yay. But I believe what I believe. Go me. Yay. It's my business. It's my life. It's my body. So is yours. You don't need to go to that clinic and disturb people who are making their decisions. Leave it alone. You don't need to go putting your propaganda online. Leave it alone. Because I'm thinking during the pandemic, people who were out there with signs and, oh, we can't do this anymore because of COVID. Leave them alone, online or anywhere. A woman's body is her business. And believe me, when you do make that decision, you go through some pain and sorrow and whatever you go through. You go through it, and then you mend and you heal. And if a person has a connection with a higher authority, like a god, goddess, the great creator, or whatever, then they will communicate with that person. Look, I'm sorry, I made a big mistake. Either you're going to forgive me or you're not, and it's still their business, not yours. You're going to go out there and moan and complain every time that somebody does something that you don't like, that you're against. Get busy in your own life, okay? Just step back. It's okay. Do it. You aren't going to get punished for leaving me and other women who want to make their own choices. You're not going to get punished for leaving us alone. It's our choice, period. Like I said before, over and over and over again. I'm putting this out here more or less for my granddaughter that someday, and my grandson, that someday they will see this and they will know that they have rights. At least during 2021, they had rights. And if all of you people out there who are trying to shove your beliefs down other people's throats get your way, you're going to take away the rights of other people you have nothing to do with. You're forcing your religion and your beliefs upon other people. You need to think of it that way. Look through your book, and what does it say in there about abortion? Yes, it says, thou shalt not commit murder. Okay? I'm pretty sure it says murder. If it even says kill. Kill, I think, is different than murder, because people out there are killing food every day for people to eat. Cows, chickens, pigs, lambs, sheep, goats are all being killed for people's consumptions. They're even being killed by animals themselves. How do tigers and lions and bears and whatever eat? Wolves, how do they eat? By berries, bananas, fruit? No. They kill their prey. Okay? Yeah, we don't go running around and jump on a cow and tear it to bits, do we? But it's done. This is not murder. Murder is different. Completely different. Look it up. I'm not here today to be your guide of words and knowledge. You need to look up those words if you don't understand the difference. I do. I just don't need to tell you about it. You'll go out and find it yourself. Kill, murder, two different things. Do they have the same result? Yes. In kill, somebody's going to be dead. In murder, somebody's going to be dead. Okay? There's two different things. And when it's a medical procedure that is still legal in the United States, in many states, you need to leave it alone. Okay? Otherwise, people are still going to do it. And they're going to do it incorrectly. I had a friend of mine once told me that her mom, her own mother, sold her body to drunk friends, men, and raped her for a price that her mother took in. And during one of these rapes, she got pregnant, and her mother forced her into the bathroom and gave her a coat hanger abortion and pulled out her uterus in the process. And she nearly bled to death. But she was never able to have babies ever after that. Is that where we're going, America? Wake up. You keep your religion in your black book, in your churches, and you leave the rest of us alone. It's none of your business what we've decided to follow or not. Thank you. Woo.